Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Active Reading for Critical Reading Chapter 1. The learning objective of this study is first style of student in reading, previewing versus surveying in reading, and holistic reading strategy. Now, let's see that there are four styles of reading. Before reading, for student who is visual style, you should look at chart, graphs, maps, or diagram. Watch a TV broadcast or the information or related video. Next, when you are as auditory student, please you listen to recorded information, attend lectures, and read out loud. For student who is read and write, you can read information in the text, read handouts, and read the information online. For a kinesthetic student, you can read or listen to the information, then conduct experiment or perform the task or activity. Or you can manipulate three-dimensional objects, for example, models. During reading for visual student, you can use color pens or pencil to underline text, connect written text to visuals, graphic or pictures. Draw visual of the information as form of note-taking while reading. For auditory, you can repeat difficult passage out loud, difficult segments of the text with study partners, or you can write down or draw diagrams or notes and read them aloud. For student who has read or write style, you can take notes as you read. If the concept is challenging, try to paraphrase the passage. For student who has kinesthetic style, you can imagine the application of the information in the real life. You can try to relate information to actual tasks or behavior, visualize them being carried out, or do it yourself to solidify information. Then, what can we do after reading? After reading, for visual student, you can represent new material in a graphic organizer, chart, or diagram. You can study by recreating this visual representation, and you can copy and recopy notes. For auditory student, you can listen to and answer questions in the class about the material. Repeat information out loud, record key points, and play them in the car during study session. Orally quiz your study partner and listen to audio or podcast about the material. For student who has read or write style, and after reading or post-reading, you can create an outline or study cards of important information. Write a summary of the key point or least point and check your answer against your notes. You can use word association and rhymes to remember. For student who has kinesthetic style, you can recite information while walking around, perform the tasks, and then write down important points. Visit appropriate museum, galleries, location, and outdoor natural environment to learn more. And you can use role plays, acting, or games to reinforce information. Active reading. The vast majority of college courses require reading to learn. Reading effectively requires knowledge of strategies that you can adapt to suit your learning style and the way you learn best. While you will find some strategies will work better for you than others, keep an open mind and give these strategies a try. After all, they have been developed from years of research and practice about how individuals learn most effectively. Neuroscience has illuminated how the brain and memory work, and it's important to learn or study according how your brain processes information. To fully comprehend new information, you need to become an active learner. Active learning involves more than being on top of your course assignment. Active learning involves working with your brain to maximize your success. An active learner takes responsibility for learning, does all the reading and takes note. focuses on the subject being discussed and asks questions, does not rely on or blame the instructor if something is not clear, but makes note of the question and asks the instructor to clarify before or during and after the class. Ask question, rereads the text and uses college support services to help them when she or he is stuck. Form a study group with other students so they can all help each other to clarify the important point covered in the class or reading assignment. Purpose for reading. In order to read and learn effectively, you need to have a clear understanding of why you are reading an assigned passage and what you learn goals are for reading. Different purposes for reading influence different rates or speed in reading as well as different degrees of concentration. Here are the difference between surveying and previewing. In surveying, the purpose is to gain an overview before you begin to read a textbook chapter or long passage, and then the goal is to provide a general overview of topic and structure to plan your reading tasks in a long passage. How about the step? There are 7 steps here. Number 1. Read the title and ask yourself, what is the reading about? Number 2. Ask yourself, what do I already know about this topic? Number 3. Predict what you think the reading will cover. Number 4. Flip through the reading and read headings and caption and look at the diagrams and illustration. Number 5. Turn the title and headings into question to hone in on content and organization. Number 6. Scan for words you don't know and circle them. Number 7. Repeat the step number 3. What do you now think the reading will cover? Now let's go on to the previewing. In previewing a reading, the purpose is to begin to understand the structure and topic of an essay, article or section, a textbook chapter before you begin to read. The goal in previewing reading is to provide more precise information on topic, structure and main idea of a short passage or section of a long passage. There are 4 steps here. Number 1. Read the title. Number 2. Read the first paragraph. Number 3. Read the first sentence of each of the middle paragraph. Number 4. Read the entire concluding paragraph. Quick tips for identifying topic. When you read the text, of course, we often find difficulty in identifying topic. What is topic? Topic is who or what a passage is about. Topic can be found in a title, bold-faced word, or words repeated in a passage. Try to narrow the topic down to 2 parts, blah 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 and blah 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 blah. This will make your self-generated guide question more effective and finding the key point easier. Remember, a topic is a word or a phrase. It's not a sentence. Holistic reading strategies. Holistic reading strategies put before, during, and after reading strategies into a unified system. Reading strategies make your learning more effective because they prime the brain for the receipt of new information and provide a method to organize new information so it can be learned. As you practice using a reading strategy, be aware of what works for you and what does not work for you. Let's go on to the KWL. What is KWL? KWL is a basic strategy that allows you to make the connection between what you already know about the topic, the goals you have for reading and learning the passage, and new information that you have learned. K, now as in, what do you know about the topic? W, what as in, what do you know, what do you want to learn? And L, learn as in, what have you learned? To employ the strategy, divide a piece of paper into 3 columns and jot down information related to each of the 3 parts of the strategy like this. Okay, we can see that what do I know, what do I want to know, and what have I learned. With KWL, You are setting up the brain to learn new information, but the main focus is on connecting prior knowledge and setting learning goals. This strategy also compels you to generate ideas about what you want to learn from reading, putting you in control of what your purpose for reading is. You can monitor your improvement over time as your statement about what you want to learn and the content of the reading become more closely linked. Ultimately, the result will be improved comprehension of material. Let's see, there are four types here: SQ3R, SQ4R, and PQ4R. There are some differences I would like to explain. Surveying or previewing a reading beforehand allows your brain to see the structure of the reading. You can identify the topic of the reading as well as predict the most important points. Also, you get a glimpse at how the author organized idea, so you can do the same. Creating questions forces you to actively focus your reading to find answer to those questions. Focusing your reading to find answer to the question you pose reduces the likelihood of losing concentration and increase the likelihood of understanding what you are reading. Recitation is repeating information in order to begin the process of encoding it and storing it in the long-term memory. And PQ4R, thinking about the prior knowledge, primes the brain for storage of new information before the act of processing or repeating it. Review further develops the process of learning the information through the repetition of thinking about it, storing it in the long-term memory, and practicing retrieving new information. And PQ4R, once you relate prior knowledge to the reading, to the process of reading begins. SQ4R ends with analysis, synthesis, and evaluation of material. PQ4R ends with the repetition necessary to process new information into long-term memory and retrieve it accurately. Which one is better? It depends on our style. Signal words that indicate context clues. There are here definition clue, synonym clue, antonym clue, and inference clue. Let's back. Definition clue. A definition of a term often is boldface or italics. Is defined as means, colon followed by definition, dash followed by definition, comma followed by definition, boldface or italics. For example, long-term memory is the part of the mind that holds all memories from past experience and a network or organized idea. Mnemonic devices, we use dash here. Memory aids that facilitate learning information. Dash again are useful for studying and learning. So here, dash after mnemonic devices and dash before after information means give definition about the clue. Synonym clue. A word that means the same thing as the one you don't know. A word that means the same within commas. A word later in the sentence that means the same, or the word or that follows a synonym of noun words. Example: repressing memories can lead to inaccurate recall. This blocking of your recollection might mean that you might not remember the event. Retrieval or recall is a vital part of the memory and learning system. Antonym clue. The signal words or punctuation used is unlike, instead, but, however, on the other hand, rather, and conversely. An instructor might give tacit praise for study skill instead of telling you directly how impressed he is with your organization. Rather than telling the truth about not completing the assignment, the student was mendacious and created an excuse. Go on to inference clue. Inference clue is an educated guess based on information and reasonable deduction from the sentence or surrounding sentences. The signal words or punctuation used are a list of examples or a specific example that clarifies the word, descriptive details that clarify the word, and a list of items that clarifies the word. I remember that encoding was needed to make my study information organized and easily processed by the brain. Short-term memory capacity is so precious that I force myself to stare at the page and block out everything else. My long-term memory was abysmal. I forgot the date I moved here, the detail leading up to the move, and the process itself. That's all about active reading. Thank you for your information. Thank you for your attention. See you next time. Goodbye. Assalamualaikum.